Well, it's June. Those are my bags. It's raining lightly. That means only one thing. We are going on holiday. Hello there. So this is, what's this dog's name?
This is Pax. This is called by Flanagan. So it's a husky, Malamute, German Shepherd cross.
Hello there. Lovely. So this is Doug. Hello there. Right. Where are we going to, Rachel?
We're going to Ljubljana and then we're going on to see bears.
So this is a 2-week holiday to Slovenia and we are here in Aberdeen Airport. It's a complicated itinerary, so we're doing city breaks and we're doing some bears and then we're heading off to the Slovenian Alps. Now we met the Aberdeen Airport canine crew in the departure lounge, and if you go onto Aberdeen Airport's website you can find out what the regular roster is for the canine crew. They have regular appearances in the morning between 9 and 11 and also in the mid to late afternoon period. Now we were on a British Airways flight travelling through Heathrow Airport, and on our flight we had an Airbus A319 down to London. We were a bit delayed into London. Why we were delayed? We had to wait for a Red Arrows flight past at Buckingham Palace before we were cleared to land. But once we were in Heathrow Airport, we were only a little bit delayed, about 15 minutes. We had to transfer onto a bus into Terminal 5. It's from Terminal 5 to Terminal 3. Okay, so down the stairs. I'm gonna have to say it was 20 minutes on that bus instead of the usual 10. There it is, 1605 Ljubljana. Yeah. So one of the things I'm not a big fan of when it comes to Terminal 3 is a lack of windows. You end up in the main area and you've got lots of shops around you, but you've got no windows to look at the planes, which is a bit disappointing. One of the things I'm not a big fan of at Terminal 3 is you can't see where the gate numbers are, and all the way through this waiting area you just don't know where gate 9 is, for example. Not a big not terribly impressed with this place. We had about 3 hours transit time in total. Once we were on the flight to Ljubljana, it was starting to warm up over the continent. We had various thunderstorms with which to dodge, but we got into Ljubljana about 10 minutes behind schedule. Cheers, Rachel! Once we were there, it was quite a nice modern airport, but we had our bags, which we were waiting for quite a long time. We could see our Apple AirTags. They had arrived, but they had somehow been forgotten about. But we got them eventually. And then it was an airport hotel shuttle straight into the middle of town, where we were staying at the Best Western Premier. Right, well, this is our hotel. Right on the main shopping streets. Well, here we are. Let's check in and find out what it's like in here. There we are. So we get a little elephant.
Oh,
Oh no, I think you have to
Yeah,
pay
I think
for
you
that
have to
one.
buy for it. I think you
Yeah.
have to pay for it. It's
But
like
this is
€5.
this is okay.
Yes.
You've got the high street view. So that's what's going on. Right, Rachel, out for a drink.
Yeah.
Cheers, Rachel.
Cheers.
Okay, Rachel.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Our first day in Ljubljana.
So,
See what the day
we're going to be
brings.
walking about the city in the morning, at the very least. It's already pretty warm, and it's pretty hot. Talking about temperatures of 30 degrees today, and being from Aberdeen, I don't think Aberdeen's ever seen those kind of temperatures before. But we've also been sunning up as well, because the sun is a lot stronger here than it is in Scotland. I think you get a sun index, UV index of 7 in Scotland. Down here you can top out at 11. So up here we've got a castle rising above the old town square. Let's take a look around. So I think this is the triple bridge. So we've got 3 bridges right next to each other. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. So along the river, some stalls in the shade. $10.15 seems to be the time when all the bells ring out on a Sunday. One thing you have to watch out for is crossing on the red light. It's €40 fine if you're caught doing that in this country. So it's completely different to the United Kingdom. And I'm feeling puggled already. We've only been out for about 30 minutes or so. We've got a bridge over here. More modern bridge. Some of the older bridges over there. Very green water as well. Lots of algae. Over to the left here. This is the main market square just beyond here. But beyond, we've got the hill with the castle on the top. And there's a funicular railway if you want to do it easy. So we are on our way to Tivoli Gardens, but I don't think it's the same kind of Tivoli Gardens as what we have in Copenhagen. There are a few things in this corner of town, of the city, which are worthy of seeing. So this is the opera building for Slovenia, built 1892. So over here we've got the National Gallery of Slovenia. So under the underpass and into Tivoli Gardens. So here's the map. We are there, I think.
Big park.
The sculpted part of the gardens is around here. We've got this large forest area as well. So we will go for a little wander. It's a nice place to walk about, but it's nothing like what Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen is. So this is nice. You can take some nice shaded walks in the Tivoli. So here we are, the very centre of the park. So here we are, some bronze dogs adorning the entrance to this building. Yeah, you can have some food here. So heading from our midday snack back down to the National Gallery, and got some interesting paintings on the way down here. So this is the potato sculpture. So I'm guessing potatoes are one of the foods which are grown here. This is something really very special indeed. I think we'll be heading to the National Gallery, which is just over here. Now, on a hot day like today, the National Gallery is definitely well worth visiting, not least the fact that it is air conditioned. Now, the admission tickets were about €8 per adult, or €14 if you want to see the additional exhibition. At the time that we visited, it was a Baroque exhibition that was on display. Rachel, camera?
Hello, it's roast egg.
We just finished the National Gallery.
And it's like a heat wave.
It's very hot outside.
So
I'm surprised we haven't caught fire yet. It's that hot. So this must be the main public square right in front of Parliament Building. You look at the Parliament Building, or the National Assembly Building, it's quite small, and the population is just over 2 million. That's about 4 times the size of Aberdeenshire and Aberdeen City put together. If you compare that with the size of Marshall College in Aberdeen City, yeah, it's a bigger building. Got another underpass, and there should be a park on the other side. Oh, it's noticeably cooler here. And on the other side, we emerge into a park. So then we're in the old part of town again. It's amazing how a little bit of tree cover makes all the difference in terms of temperature. Even if you're in the shade in a concrete jungle, it's still hotter than being underneath a tree. One thing I will say about this city, it's quite quiet, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have cars dominating the soundscape here. It's quite genteel. It is a Sunday, but I think most of the old part of town is pedestrianised, and that's really good. A mid-afternoon walk on the west side of the river Ljubljana. Yep, and you can go for a little boat ride, for example, like that.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's a glass roof though. Not so sure about that one. That's going to be Rostos.
You think?
I think so. So, compared to Balata ice cream, how does this compare?
I prefer Lossy ice cream.
Very good, so do I. So I've seen these symbols here. They look like Pac-Man ghost symbols, as though if you go down here, you're going to get gobbled up by a ghost. I don't know what it all means, but it's quite interesting. This is looking very yummy pizza. What do you say, Rachel?
Very nice. I've just
But we're waiting for yours, aren't we?
Yeah, but tuck in so it doesn't go cold.
Yes. That is the best presented pizza I've ever seen. So I think that was called Papa's Pizza, and I'm going to have to say Pop's Pizza. And that pizza was, the dough was some of the loveliest dough I've ever had. It was absolutely fantastic. So we're going to head up to the castle So it's a bit of a heave-ho, but it's much better to do it at this time of the evening than in the middle of the daytime. Well, these are some of the most cobbly streets I've seen. Graffiti is definitely a thing in this part of the world. Street art's not the same as graffiti though. They've got really great, fantastic murals in Aberdeen though. A little bit of height gain, and now you can start seeing a few more things. So getting a bit higher up. So we end up here. Got some nice views over the city. It's now 7:15 and the bells have started to ring out. So there's a little elevated spot you can go to without going into the castle itself. The castle's just over here. There's a monument just here. Okay, so that's the castle entrance. So we're now going to be turning right here and heading down back into town. So Rachel, peaceful forest path.
Yes.
With the distant sounds of bells and traffic
And birds.
and birds. It's quite nice actually.
Yeah.
So we end up down here, right next to a tunnel. Here's another little symbol, which all looks very Pac-Man-ish. So you can take a funicular up to the castle if you want to be in a glass box on a hot day. This is the place for you. New day, much cooler, a bit cloudier. So we are going to be heading off to the cathedral and we'll be taking a look there, and then we'll be taking a look at other parts of town. So found out that the cathedral is not open until 11 o'clock, so we're going to go to a suburb called Metalcova. And you can see the graffiti here. There's a bit of a hint as to what we could be expecting coming up. I say graffiti, I think that it's called new art more than anything else.
Dad.
So Rachel, we got to this Metalova place and we just went round the corner, and you had about 3 men all carrying beers with them at 10 o'clock in the morning. We went round the corner, it was just full of men just drinking beer, and we just got the wrong vibe.
I thought I'm going to come out of there thinking of something of drugs.
Yeah, it's definitely alternative, but I think it was not really our kind of scene. Before we just go back to town, and we found this place, and these are the prices that you can see.
Reasonable.
I'm gonna have to say some of these items, they're traditional Slovenian food, but roast pork, black pudding, pork roast, those are all things which sort of stick out at me.
Sausage and potatoes.
Yes.
I like the look of the beef goulash. I would try that.
Beef goulash
We'll
sounds
come
good.
Back here tonight
We
for
could.
dinner.
So what is this place? This is the place.
Yeah.
€3 to enter. Very ornate. Yeah. So here in the main square you've got a scale model of the city. Yes. So we're on the west side of the village of the city, and then we head off this way. So we are heading towards the Botanic Gardens. We were wanting to go to the Museum of Contemporary History, but they are closed on a Monday. They open on a Tuesday. Okay, so we've just been walking along a busy 4-lane highway, so we're very close to the Botanic Gardens now. So from the road into the gardens. So on the way back from the Botanic Gardens, one thing I quite like are these murals here. Very good. There's some more of those things. I get the impression it's some kind of gaming heritage in Ljubljana. So we see these little buggy vans around. It says you can call this number for a free ride. They're all electric. They can seat 4 people plus one riding shotgun. It's available to tourists. It's not reserved exclusively for disabled people. It's for tourists as well. And I think it is a volunteer scheme. So this is a very interesting method of transportation. Apparently there's 19 drivers in Ljubljana who drive these things. Well, that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to be continuing our holidays by renting a car and heading outside the capital city. So I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you again very soon.